If you've ever wondered how you can help your dog learn quickly and effectively, read on. You'll find a handful of easy tips that you can use to get your dog on the right track to becoming a well-behaved canine. Positive reinforcement principles. Positive reinforcement is a technique used to teach your dog to behave better. The technique is designed to teach your dog the appropriate behavior and to build a bond between you and your pet. However, there are many different techniques that can be used to train your dog. One of the most common ways to use positive reinforcement is to use food rewards. This is because food can be easily delivered to your dog. Using a reward is also more efficient than trying to train your dog to do something that takes a lot of time and effort. Other types of positive reinforcement include praise, petting, hugs, and kisses. These can be a lot of fun for both you and your pet. In fact, a study based on fMRI data showed that pets can be prone to showing positive emotions when exposed to their owners. One of the most exciting things about using positive reinforcement is the ability to bond with your canine friend. Many dogs love being around their owners. Providing positive reinforcement can give your pet a sense of purpose and confidence. The most effective type of positive reinforcement is called intermittent. The reason is that you don't want to treat your dog every time they do something you like. For example, if your pet is jumping on you, don't reward him every single time. Shorter sessions are more effective than longer sessions. One of the best ways to help your canine companion is to provide them with something to chew on and keep them entertained. For most dogs, that means short bursts of training. That being said, what is the best length for your training sessions? Ultimately, it all boils down to how much time you have to devote to your pooch. So, if you're short on time, do what you can to make the most of it. There is no hard and fast rule of thumb, but most dogs respond well to a training session lasting about 15 minutes. The most important part of any training session is to listen to your canine friend's cues. This will go a long way towards ensuring success. Longer training sessions can actually cause your canine companion to lose focus and become bored. In the words of the American Kennel Club, a dog that is bored is a dog that isn't learning. To prevent your pooch from getting bored, make sure to keep them entertained. Give them something to chew on and keep them occupied by playing games with them. After all, you wouldn't want them to lose interest and start making mistakes. Learning all about your dog's breed and personality traits. In order to teach your dog how to behave, you need to know what he or she likes to do. Dogs learn by watching their owners, but their personality will shape how easily they do that. And some dogs prefer to chase other animals or to play with toys. Some breeds are playful and others are more serious and aloof. For decades, humans have bred their dogs to meet specific requirements. Traditionally, dogs were bred to herd, sled, or hunt, and their personalities were defined by the tasks they were bred to perform. Today, modern society owns most dogs as pets. However, they still reflect some of the professional legacies that were left on the canine family tree. A new genome study has found that breed alone isn't a reliable predictor of a dog's personality. The researchers used DNA from over 2,000 dogs to find patterns within groups. They then compared the DNA to the results of a survey of 18,385 owners. According to the study, 9% of the variance in individual dog behavior can be explained by the breed. Nevertheless, the researchers found that the differences between breeds were very large. Most behavioral traits are heritable. Breeds tend to have a predilection for certain behaviors, and some of these traits are very influential in predicting behavior. Punishment in the form of spanking makes matters worse. Spanking your dog may sound like a good idea in the beginning, but it can backfire in a big way. Besides being physically punishing, it reduces the dog's trust in you and can be an impediment to good canine citizenship. On the other hand, if you are able to train your dog to be a submissive canine, you have just saved a life and a limb. Regardless of what you decide, a little bit of positive reinforcement goes a long way. The good news is that there is a magic formula that you can use to train your pooch to be a pawsome member of your family. All you need is the right training tool and a little bit of motivation. For starters, try using a reward system such as treats or toys. Also, don't forget to pay your dog off when you give her something new to chew on. Doing this will also help prevent her from chewing your favorite chews. Another trick is to let her sleep in your bed a couple nights a week. You can then get a full night's rest. Using the right training tools will ensure your pooch is as obedient as possible and will make you a happier, more contented human. Lastly, don't be afraid to experiment. You never know when your pet will need to be coaxed into a better behavior. Intermittent rewards. If your dog has been struggling to learn new tricks and commands, it may be time to turn to intermittent rewards for dogs. This strategy can help to boost your dog's learning ability and improve the bond you share with your canine companion. For starters, you can use a clicker or a similar tool to tell your dog what you want. A clicker can help your dog understand what position you want them to be in or which action you want them to perform. For instance, you can teach your dog to sit by offering him a treat in a bowl. The reward can be a kibble or a miniature version of his regular food. But be careful to not overdo the treats. In addition, you can use a distraction to distract your dog from bad behavior. If you have a dog that barks at people passing by your house, you might give him a treat when he sees a person coming through the door. You could also crinkle a baggie or play with a toy before you get your dog to do something you want him to do. If you have a smaller dog, you might not have to get him up to receive a treat. Similarly, you can withhold affection or toys until the training is over. Treats. If you are looking to train your dog, you will likely want to use treats. These are the easiest reinforcers for dogs. They can also be used to help your dog develop a new behavior. In some cases, treats can also help your dog learn to stop unwanted behavior. Training your dog will take time. You need to give your dog plenty of attention and focus. Also, you need to make sure you use the right rewards. Some behaviors are better rewarded with verbal praise, while others are more suitable for a treat. Dogs love the smell of treats, so you'll want to make sure you provide them with plenty. However, be careful not to give your dog too many treats at one time. This can lead to obesity and unhealthy habits. Instead, make sure you alternate between food and treats. If your dog is shy, treats can help you to encourage him to interact with other people. For instance, you could reward him with a treat when he comes out of his crate. Or you can play a game of fetch. If your dog isn't interested in treats, you may need to use another form of training. For example, a playful dog can work well for a ball chase. Clickers. If you're new to dog training, you may want to try using a clicker. They are simple to use and are often inexpensive. You can find them at most pet stores. Clickers are a useful tool when teaching your dog to perform a command or simply learning by association. The sound of a clicker indicates that the dog's action has been completed successfully. After enough clicks, the dog will receive a treat. A treat can be anything from food to play. However, if you're trying to train your dog to do a command, you should be sure to give them a treat at the precise moment the behavior is completed. This will help the dog to learn to associate the reward with the correct action. When the clicker is no longer used as a reward, the dog will lose its association. To begin clicker training, choose a simple behavior that your dog already knows and begin by clicking. It's also a good idea to make the sound pleasant for your dog. Often, the clicker is a sound that the animal can hear, so make sure it's not something that he'll associate with other sounds. Start clicker training by holding the clicker in one hand and pressing the button with your other. Practice pressing the button with your finger to get used to how it feels. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please be sure to like and subscribe. Your support really helps and I appreciate it. I hope that you have gained valuable knowledge about your dog's behavior and how you can set aside time each day to practice training and keep the sessions short and sweet. Feel free to check out our training in the description to further your understanding of this concept. Thank you for joining us today. See you on the next one.